All right, we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Ballistic Missionaries Wrassling Supplemental for June 6th, 2025.
Yes.
It's been... Oh, wait. I got to open my notes. Hold on here. My notes up. Taking forever. There we go. All right. I just want to make sure we're still recording. All right.
This week marks not one, but two pay-per-views, but we're not going to be able to watch live, but we will watch on Sunday.
We got stuff to do.
Yeah.
So Worlds Collide is going to be Saturday at 3. I don't know. You can probably hear there's thunder going on. There's a big storm front moving through. Worlds Collide Saturday at 3. NXT Peeps meets the AAA Peeps, and Worlds will collide.
Yes.
Boom. Yeah. All right.
The door was already taken.
So we have coming up Vikingo versus Chad Gable, the NXT North American title, a fatal 4-way. Ethan Page, Ray Phoenix, Javon Evans, and Laredo Kid from AAA. Legado del Fantasma versus El Hijo del Dr. Wagner, which is the weirdest fucking name. I don't know. Pagano and Psycho Clown. Second weirdest name. Then LWO, which minus Rey Mysterio, who's still out, versus Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana. I don't know who Mr. Iguana is, but I'm pretty curious.
The kids love him.
Oh, yeah. And then lastly, Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice versus Dalis and Chic Tormenta. So...
Girl Tormentor? Is that what that translates to?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But...
my Spanish is non-existent.
So that looks... I mean, I don't know who half of these people are, but... It looks pretty fun. I'm kind of excited to see who they are, learn about... I'll drop frame rates already.
I blame on the Thunder.
Sure.
Thunder.
But, so yeah, that looks like it's going to be pretty fun. That's Saturday at 3 on Peacock? Is that going to be on Peacock, or is that something you think is that going to be on CW?
I think it's probably going to be on Peacock.
I think it probably is, too. Then later that night, and I didn't write the time down, of course.
7, I believe.
Is it 7? Okay. 7 o'clock Saturday night, Money in the Bank 2025. Got a bunch of good matches. Actually, it's going to be a pretty tight card, and we've got to do our predictions for the match.
Literally, what was it? 4 matches?
It's 4 matches. The 2 Money in the Bank matches, and then 2 other matches to fill things up.
They'll probably put one more in.
They might, yeah. Because there's only like one title actually being defended, and it's the women's IC title. It is a little weird, but yeah. So hopefully they'll.
Unless you're gonna have like a 2-hour program or something like that. But I mean, that's
it might be short and tight. I don't know. Well, because you figure like men's Money in the Bank will take 45 minutes to an hour. Women's will take 45 minutes to an hour.
And then I think you can get it done in 20-25 minutes each.
You think so?
Yes.
I'm maybe thinking of the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
That's an hour. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they'll... See, I have a feeling that something's going to happen with the Cody and Jay and Cena and Logan Paul match, that they're going to drag that out to like an hour.
Do you really I feel like 2 of those people offhand really don't have the ability to make an hour interesting match. Cody might, and Jay on the outside, sure. But Cena is pretty much known for only going about 10 to 20 minutes being interesting.
He's not that good.
He's not Hogan bad where he has to, if you get going longer than 10, 15 minutes, you need a wrestler of superior quality to make it interesting. But again, I feel like 20 minutes is Cena's limit before he gets. I would say that WrestleMania one was more than 20 minutes, and that was a great example of I just couldn't care less. I guess. All
right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. All right, men's Money in the Bank ladder match. We have Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Chad Gable, or He's being latte Americano. I don't know which it is.
It's
Is it latte or is it Chad?
It's latte.
It's the latte.
Yes.
Penta, Seth Rollins, and Andrade.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
That was surprising. Yeah, I'm glad he's been getting a little bit more airtime lately. But I'm kind of. I don't know predictions for the Money in the Bank matches either.
At least the men's one. The women's
one, especially the men's match. I have no idea.
If I'm gonna go by pure odds, or by I guess like who's where, I've got to go with Rollins as my number one pick.
You know what? I'm gonna be a little out there, and I'm gonna say the Solo Sikoa is gonna win because they're really pushing this split with the new bloodline and Jacob Fatu. So I'm going to say Solo, even though I think I'm wrong. It's probably Rollins.
Yeah, I mean, my only second...
Because, I mean, Rollins' storyline is gotten a little bit bigger than Solo and Jacob Fatu's.
Yeah.
And what's his name? JC Mateo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Basically, they changed his name. But Andrade is definitely at the bottom of the total pool. Like, he's got pretty much almost a 0.
I'd say LA Knight is at the bottom of the total pool.
Really?
Latte is going to be at the bottom of the totem pole for me.
For me, it would be Andrade, followed by...
I think that, Penta has one of the best chances, but he doesn't have a storyline going on right now. So, it's...
Not
why would they give it to
I think it's basically him and Gable, since Gable's been doing I'm going for luchas or something like that.
That's true. They're are kind of in together, so they might have their own little side thing going on during the Money in the Bank.
The only thing and if you gave it to Penta, what would be an interesting angle is if Penta wanted, you could have him and El Grande Americana go mask versus Money in the Bank contract in a future match.
That might be fun. Yeah,
that I can see that being interesting. Penta's, I would say, right in the middle. I would say Andrade's at the bottom for me. Solo is probably next. Penta and Gable are right in the middle, and for me, Rollins and LA Knight are towards the top.
Yeah, same for me, except switch LA Knight and Solo.
Yeah. With Rollins, it's easiest. LA Knight cashing in on Cena seems unlikely.
Rollins cashing in on Jay
seems
more likely.
Way more likely.
He has threatened it.
It's the most likely.
Of course, now you have Gunther trying to come for Jay again.
Yeah.
But
of course, this could be
really, it's a tough one to nail down.
Of course, this could be a year where you have another year where you have an unsuccessful men's cash in.
That's true.
It's possible.
Last year was kind of a huge letdown. But
what
Drew won.
He
tried to cash it in. And then CM Punk came out
and interfered. And
I think Damian Priest interfered as well, but I can't remember how he fit in when exactly.
Yeah, he was trying to, God, who was it? Priest lost to Gunther or no?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it was stupid. I didn't like it. It was underwhelming last year, but so yeah, it's a tough field to call this time.
No, like I said, on the men's one. On the women's side, it feels a little quite a bit easier.
Women's, we have Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, newcomer. So excited to see what she does in the match. Rhea Ripley, Julia, also newcomer, but kind of a different kind of newcomer from Roxanne. She's been around a lot more. And Stephanie Vaquer. So
for me, it's more complicated on paper, but in my head, the way the storyline is going, I feel like Vaquer is.
I think it's going to be Vaquer or Bliss.
Yeah, I don't think Bliss. I think Bliss has had her time in the sun.
I don't know. They brought her out pretty strong. Vaquer, obviously Vaquer is on a nonstop trip to the top, but I don't know about this one.
For me, if I had I'd say at the bottom is Naomi.
I think at the bottom is going to be Roxanne and Rhea. Because Roxy, I think, is too green. She just got to the main roster. Rhea, she's been there before. She's just going to be like the big powerhouse bruiser in the match, but I don't think she's going to get
I
it.
don't think Rhea needs Money in the Bank. Like I feel like she's in the main event picture for a while.
Julia, I don't know
She's
what
right.
they're going to do with Julia. She's kind of right in the middle there. Like she could go. She could maybe get it. She might not. Naomi, they've been doing a lot with, but she's been losing a lot. So
like Naomi and Alexa Bliss are my two lowest dark horses, with Naomi being at the bottom.
Well, I think I'm going to put my prediction is going to be that Alexa Bliss wins.
Okay, mine's going with Vakir.
You still going with Vakir?
Yeah.
I think that's actually a very safe. I think it's safe and logical, but I think that Bliss she's come out pretty strong so far. I think that they're gonna give her another shot.
Yeah.
All right, now let's do the women's IC title. Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. Again, I don't fucking care. It was a good match. It was a good match,
but I feel like it was done.
It should have been done last time.
I feel the same. It was done in May. And now it's June, and it's still going on.
Yeah. I think they're probably going to give it to Lynch. Like Valkyria's shown that she can beat Lynch.
Yeah.
And they're going to want to make, now that it's a new title, they're going to want to give it to her. Wait, did she? Is this the IC one? The new one?
Yes.
Yeah. They're going to give it to her so that she can go back to being a Grand Slam champion, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
I think it's only a matter of time.
Right now, technically, everybody's still a Grand Slam champion. But I think if you put it out, we'll pretty much go on camera and say, like, I'm the only Grand Slam champion at this point, having won all these other titles and this one.
Yeah.
And at that point, the Grand Slam thing might be rewritten to include the women's IC and women's. At least the women's IC and women's U.S. Championship, with possibly the NXT Women's North American title in there as well.
Yeah, because, this whole, well-established mainstream superstars going down to NXT to take the belt for 2 weeks is dumb.
Yeah. It kind of sucks.
I don't like it. But,
I don't ever feel like it's enhanced the prestige of the wrestler going down there.
No. Or the belt.
Or the belt. Or the person that eventually takes it on. I don't think that it does anything. I feel like NXT.
It's like it's a transitional champ, but that it's a transitional champ that they're trying to be like, oh, look. Like,
it's used to put other people.
Punch it on paper.
It's used to try and put other people over, and it seldom ever works in my head.
Yeah.
Either when, New Day went down and came NXT Tag Champions, or when Charlotte Flair went down and took the belt for
that was just sad and pathetic. Or Becky Lynch doing it was also kind of sad and pathetic.
It's never in my eyes worked out for me.
No.
I gotta say, as tough it is, I am thinking Lynch, just in the idea that they want to have. They've only had one champion at this point, at least with the U.S. title. It's gone over to Zelina Vega. Valkyria still was the only women's IC title holder.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would like to see the women's IC and U.S. titles kind of be ones that go change hands more.
Travel a lot more.
More. You have your main women's belts, singles belts, your world and WWE championships that can go 6 months a year without changing hands. But I feel like these are the ones where you need to put them on a varying amount of talent and give them a chance. I feel like this is for the main roster, they're cutting teeth championship for a lot of people. They're cutting teeth champions for those that are younger and those that are older. It's probably
moving them to a different
last chance to have some sort of gold or something like that.
Yeah.
But I gotta go with Lynch. I don't want to go with Lynch.
I don't either. But
I'm not a Lyra Valkyria fan. I'm just not.
I know. She's
a good in-ring performer.
She's boring, but fine.
Her personality is milquetoast.
I'm ready to see it on a different person. I don't necessarily want that person to be Becky Lynch, but
yeah. Um,
I don't know. All wanted to be Becky Lynch.
and then the match nobody cares about.
Cody and Jay in a tag team match versus Cena and Logan Paul. It's going to be so fucking stupid and probably take way longer than it actually should. Most of that, I'm guessing, is going to be
If
entrances.
we're going on Cena's last track record since WrestleMania, it's like, what idiot is going to interfere?
Yeah.
Like, what pointless outside interference is going to happen this time around?
Yeah, he's already in the match. That's Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Pointless, stupid interference, little twat.
Yeah. I couldn't care less about Logan Paul. I guess they're trying to sell this angle as John Cena's trying to quote unquote destroy wrestling by running out with his 2-part plan is running out with the WWE Championship, leaving the world title for Logan Paul to eventually win, and then you have a YouTube champion as. And to me, it sounds more stupid than precedent, or precedenting.
It does.
It's prevalent, I guess. Is prevalent is the word I'm looking for. But I couldn't care less. I'm just this.
I mean, it's kind of fucked up because Jay also has on Monday a huge title defense against Gunter.
Yeah,
and it's like he's getting his ass. Well, he probably won't get his ass kicked, but he's gonna get his ass kicked on Monday by Gunter. But it's just I don't know. It's like they're just asking him to lose the belt on Monday by putting him through this shit.
It could happen that way. It could wind up being a big setup to an injury. Or,
didn't think about
here's my other thought, and this goes back to my pick of Rollins as winning Money in the Bank, is you have Cody, you have Jay doing Money in the Bank tomorrow, and then you have Gunter. He survives that, and Rollins comes in and cashes.
Oh, that is actually a really good setup. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But anyway, to the task at hand, which pointless team do you think is going to be the pointless winner of the pointless match?
I'm going to go with pointless Cody and pointless Jay.
Yeah, I think Cody and Jay are going to take it too. So
just to make Jay look strong enough. To make Jay look strong enough.
The next couple of
when he goes up against Gunter, he's going to have him looking extremely weak on that. And I think he'll come out winning against this in the tag match this weekend. I think he will barely beat Gunter, and he will be a wreck. And Rollins will come in, cash the Money in the Bank, and become champion.
You know what? I think that sounds like a very good theory.
Yeah. Whether I'm right or not remains to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, it stacks up. It makes sense. It's definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about some things. I know we mentioned on Monday on our show that R-Truth was let go, and we were mad about it. Apparently, everybody else is mad about it, including wrestlers, because there was a memo that got sent out to active talent saying not to disparage the company over Truth being let go on social media. So, apparently a lot of people inside the company are as unhappy about this as all of us fans are.
There are rumors that I've heard, and let me say that these are unsubstantiated, but somewhat plausible. The one that I've heard from several sources, again, unsubstantiated, don't take it as the gospel, but our truth was promised some sort of money, but it was significantly less than he was making now, which prompted him to leave.
Oh. Okay. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess time will bear it out. See if that's.
But it is interesting to see the backlash.
Yes, there has been a lot of backlash.
We just really caught up on SmackDown yesterday, and he was there on Friday and gone by Monday.
He had a squash match against JC Mateo.
Jeff Cobb.
It was so sad because we heard we saw him come in and it was like, oh my god, it was like that time that my grandmother's cousin died right before Christmas and she mailed us a present, so we got, and it was like one of those nut samplers, like holiday nut samplers, so we got like a gift of hers from beyond the grave. and it was like doubly depressing.
Kind of Stephen King-esque.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah.
But
Sometimes
yeah,
you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
so that was pretty depressing to see.
Yeah, no,
I've heard talks about him maybe getting picked up with another promotion, but obviously this just happened. We don't know yet. Although, speaking of folks getting picked up by other promotions, Mariah May, the glamour herself, is now in NXT.
Name to be determined.
Name to be determined, yes.
Because she's probably going on that Ricky Starks, Ricky Saints, Ricky Skanks. I'm guessing WWE's kind of falling back in that whole we've got to own.
It feels like they kind of are.
We have to change it right so we can own everything. Piece of merch that comes out. In fact, kind of game that comes up in the future.
In fact, there have been a few things that have been going on that Dan and I have been kind of looking at each other and like going like, that sounds like something that Vince would do.
Yeah. But I don't know how much of this is Triple H and how much of this is TKO.
That's true. It could be TKO.
I don't think it's so much Triple H.
Yeah, I don't think it's so much Triple H either. I think it's coming from above.
Now I'm starting to hear, again, this is a rumor, and this is coming from Jonathan Coachman, and so take that with a grain of salt, that Triple H may not be around in 18 months with the company. Again,
I heard that too.
Yeah, I don't know how much of this is going to be true. It's coming distinctly from one source, which is Jonathan Coachman.
Who was that?
Jonathan Coachman was.
Oh, he's that guy that's the like the wrestling.
No, you're thinking
journalist.
Yeah, he's a journalist. He was a commentator on WWE with some in ring, not performances, but I guess being like general manager and stuff like that. So he was an on-air talent to sum it up best, serving multiple roles. Once in a blue moon in-ring performer. But he apparently has a few sources still in the company, and he came out a day or two ago saying that apparently there's conflict between Triple H and The Rock.
I hadn't heard that part.
Yeah.
I thought it was between TKO just wanting to put in somebody loyal to them. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, that too. So it's like basically that Triple H may be out in the next 18 months. I find that to be a problem. Like you're not going to find anybody. Well, you could, but I'll say you have a hard time trying to find somebody that's knowledgeable, like on a business, are knowledgeable of the product, knowledgeable of the talent, knowledgeable of the inner workings.
I think that the product will suffer without him, because I think that he has helped bring a new era to the company.
I was going to say, despite
having somebody who, not only understands how to run things from the business level, but also, as the talent level. That's invaluable knowledge. And
I feel like 5 minutes. If Triple H is ever let go, 5 minutes later, Shawn Michaels will be gone as well. And he's running NXT at this point. Yeah. And I think for the most part, he's doing a pretty admirable job of running NXT. I think if you have TKO take over and TKO brings non-wrestlers or non-people involved in the
celebrities.
Well, not necessarily celebrities, but non-wrestling corporate personnel.
Oh, yeah.
WWE.
It
will not end well.
No, it won't. It won't be as good.
No, it won't be.
I mean, Vince was a son of a bitch, but you have to give the guy credit. He grew up in the wrestling business, so he wasn't like just a suit that bought a company and is like, okay, I'm here now. At least he had, some idea. He was the second generation.
He did learn the business from the inside out. He did. On a local scale before moving to national and global prominence. I don't know how much of this is just rumor. We will see in the next year or two. Yeah. I think overall, despite some reservations I have about the Paul Beck era, that Triple H is just, it's not good that he's in charge now.
I believe that.
I believe the last few years, I'm going to say starting at 2013 or 14, or even going back to the summer of Punk, like Vince the state of the company, state of the WWE's product was in, I won't say free fall, but I'd say like it was a slow decline. And I feel at that time, you can tell when you measure it against Triple H's when he was directly running NXT. When they were, it showed like the direct comparison between one product and the other. Like Triple H was like people, both fans and critics, were talking about NXT pay-per-views. They weren't necessarily talking about what was going on WWE, other than critical and negative about the product. Like, even though you had fresh infusions of people like, your Daniel Bryans, your CM Punks, and various other people that were on the main roster, your AJ Lees, Vince tended to fall back on, if it was a new person, it was mainly the Shield that kept getting pushed over here, like Ambrose, especially Rollins and Reigns. Or bringing in part-timers like Brock Lesnar, or eventually John Cena, or relying heavily on Randy Orton, rather than what Vince did in the late 90s in the absence of like WCW coming up, is that he fostered newer talent and let people have more creative freedom, and the expression of their characters. I feel Triple H, for the most part, lets that happen, but I don't know how much of that is going to be supplanted over the next couple of years because of TKO. I think there's been a honeymoon period, but I feel the honeymoon period is over.
And feel like that too. They're going to start exerting more and more influence until they, get somebody that they want specifically in that position.
One person breaks or not. I feel right now things are not good. I do have my problems with WWE as a product. I guess like my biggest one is while the longer matches will give storylines room to breathe, it comes at the expense of you still have this limited roster and somebody gets left out.
Yeah.
And not all of us are watching main events or Evolve or
it's LFG and
like I feel like so much is getting lost in the shuffle. So much is becoming either like on Raw, it's the CM Punk Seth Rollins show with a few other people in there, and then on the women's side, it's I would say Becky Lynch and Io and Rhea. Again, on SmackDown, it's pretty much the John Cena show and Cody show with a few other people sprinkled in. But again, things get lost in the shuffle, such as other like
people who are good but may not, have the
opportunity to get over
the social capital to, put themselves out there more to be like, look, I want to be in this. I want to be in this. Anyway, do you want to go through the stuff for the weeks? It's getting late. We got here late because we had a long day.
Yeah.
And we got home late from the grocery store, and then,
stuff happened.
Yeah. So, but anyway, SmackDown last week, Bianca came back. That's nice. I actually took these notes last night because, like Dan said, we just watched it last night because it hasn't been uploaded to the system. Naomi comes out, starts threatening her family. Jade comes out, chases Naomi off briefly, but then Nia Jax
comes out.
Who finally fixed her damn hair. She doesn't have that poofy poodle form anymore. Ugh. She comes out, three-way between her, Jade, and Naomi for the Money in the Bank qualifier. Well, obviously we know Naomi got it because we already went over that.
Yeah.
Truth, Mateo, tag team, men's tag.
First last official match.
Yeah. And it was a squash match by some dude who's
and then
got hair on his cheekbones.
Yes. And then got his walking paper sometime over the weekend.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
It
was Saturday he was released.
Yeah, well, I
was like right after that.
He is still under contract until August.
Well, yeah.
But
But this like the no compete piece.
Yeah, basically.
All right. So Street Profits, Fraxium, Machine Guns, DIY all came out to yell at each other. Wyatt Six showed up for the first time in like what 3 months. Attacked all of them.
That's before WrestleMania.
Yeah, I still don't know what they're doing
before the Rumble, if I remember correctly.
At least they're not just showing up now and doing absolutely nothing, and then they cut to commercial, and then you don't see them for another month. So they're doing actual wrestling. I'm happy to see that Derek Loomis and what's his name from NXT, the weird guy, Gacy.
Yeah, Ballgate.
That they still have jobs, because I actually really like those guys. I think that
Casey's little faction of Schism was interesting.
And it was very interesting, and I like Loomis too. He's, so I'm glad that they're still there. I'm glad that they've kind of found a group to fit in with, even if they don't really show up and do anything that much. But I'm glad that Loomis and Gacy are still on the page.
I think that's my problem with everything going back to like Bray Wyatt and the original Wyatt family. Yeah. It's an amazing, great build-up and a great character building, and no delivery. There's absolutely no payoff for everything they do. I find it interesting. I find it different. I find it
cool aesthetics, but that's
do something, like
literally, yes, do anything at this point.
There's no payoff.
So Legado del Fantasma, well, it's Los Garzas from Legado versus Rey Fenix and Devon Evans. Ethan Page was at commentary, not real sure exactly. I guess watching. I think he said he was watching Devon Evans.
Yeah.
Garzas won that, but it was pretty decent. It's a pretty decent match. The Sign of the Night. They were in Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
They were in Knoxville, Tennessee. The Sign of the Night was, our mayor will choke slam your mayor. And honestly, our mayor sucks. He's trying to gentrify the city. So, hey, mayor of Knoxville, come on up.
Isn't Kane there, the mayor of Knoxville?
Oh, no, is he?
Yeah.
Ew! Oh, no. Okay. Gentrifiers are bad. We don't need libertarians.
Yeah.
Never mind. I take it back.
Gentrifiers are the worst.
All right. So Zelina Vega versus Alba Fire. Zelina retained. The audience
was dead.
Did not care. There was nothing. It was dead. It's just, I don't know. Damian Priest came out, announces he's going after Jacob Fatu's title. Fatu came out for the Money in the Bank qualifying match. They had actually kind of an interesting moment of acknowledgement. They kind of stopped on the walkway and
looked at each other and walked off. But I think generally, I think it's a slow turn for Jacob Fatu.
I think it is too. Yeah,
he's over with the crowd. It's like,
oh my god, absolutely. He's over with me too. I love Jacob Fatu. I think he's great. All right, and then that leads us to the Men in the Bank the Men in the Bank.
It's raining men in the bank.
That sounds like a Weather Girls song. The Money in the Bank men's qualifying match. Fatu, Andrade. Why do I have Mello down? Oh, Fate, Andrade, and Mello. Obviously, Andrade got it.
Yeah.
And then
he was the least likely to win.
And then literally, there was no final match of the night. It was just like 10 minutes of Cody, Jey Uso, and John Cena and Logan Paul just bitching at each other.
Yeah, it was kind of pointless, and I was falling in and out of sleep at that point.
You did not miss anything. It was boring and stupid. It was a dumb way to finish out, It's like they literally could have just put that at the beginning and put like a better match.
A match that mattered.
Yes.
If I paid to go see that, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, right?
I mean, I realize I've been to SmackDown tapings, and they do usually do some sort of match afterwards when things go off, like a post-show dark matches. But honestly, I still would have been pissed off if I paid good money and I had to, like, the final thing I see is a goddamn promo before. And I know that's not like an unheard of thing.
No.
I want to see a match.
The main event slot.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I want to see some wrestling, and I want to see the story somewhere.
They did throw hands a tiny bit, and then Cena and Logan Paul ran. Mm-hmm. But
it was pointless.
It was pointless. It was very pointless. All right, so let's move on to Raw on Monday. There were a lot of our truth chants on and off throughout the night. Also on NXT.
Yes.
Also one of the AEW shows, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think you might have been asleep for that.
Yeah, that's possible.
But
I fell asleep a lot this week.
Oh, I have a note in here. Banana family. There were 2 adults and a kid who had banana hats on.
Yeah, it was funny when people, like wrestlers, were coming through the crowd, like Jey Uso or something like that, and they had to walk past the banana people.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, like the green smiley face guy, or Trinidad and Tobago guy, or Macho Man guy.
Yeah, I want to see the Banana Man.
I want to see the Banana family.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So Cole and dumbass McAfee. Cole and McAfee.
You say dumbass, everybody understands.
Yeah. They had a bet about basketball.
Yeah.
Cole lost, so
whether the Pacers and the Knicks who would win.
Oh, that's right. The Pacers won.
Cole bet on the Knicks and he lost.
So he had to show up and do the entire Raw in a Pacers jersey. Yeah. Had some decent guns though.
Yeah,
Cole.
He's in
good shape for like 60-some years old.
Yeah.
All right. CM Punk is out doing a promo. It was actually not as long as I thought it was going to be. Sami Zayn came out to interrupt him. Says, tonight you must win against Seth Rollins. You defeat the Seth Rollins plans.
It didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
No, sorry.
Women's triple threat qualifying match. Liv Morgan, Ivy Niles, Stephanie Vicaire. We don't know how that went. I have in here, the match was basically power moves from Vicaire and Nile and making Morgan look good. It was. Vicaire and Nile looked really good. AJ Styles is now being pooed. It's being pooed on by Roman.
Is there footage of that? Can I go to YouTube and see the clip? I don't want to. I just want to know.
I couldn't tell if he was trying to be wooed or threatened to keep him out of the qualifying match.
I thought you said he was being pooed on.
Well, I guess that means threatened. I would find being pooed on threatening.
I think he's threatening him, but
yeah.
I don't think
so he's trying to keep Styles out of the qualifying match, which Styles Punk that's what. Okay, which Chad ended up winning. It was Styles, CM Punk, and Latte.
Why do you hate El Grande, but Americano so much?
Who, Chad Gable?
No, they're 2 separate people.
See, okay, I want you to
remember. They're 2 separate people.
The next time we watch...
Have you ever seen them together?
I want you to remember that you're basically saying the exact same thing that Pat McAfee says right now.
All right, I like to retract everything that I just said.
All right.
I don't ever agree. If Pat McAfee comes out and says the sky is blue and I see the sky is blue, I'm going to say it's green. Because obviously, I don't want to agree with him on anything.
Thank you.
I don't mean that. I would never give up science and law just so I can get one up on Pat McAfee. It's tempting, but I would never do it.
Anyway, all right. So Styles Punk, Latte Americano, Breaker and Reed pulled Punk out of the ring right when he's about to pin Gable, and they beat up on him. Sammy and Jay came out to fight those 2. Styles jumped off the top rope and took out everybody on the floor, and then Chad Gable headbutted AJ Styles and pinned him, and then Rollins came down to try and take out Punk. All right. We just jumped down like a whole bunch here. All right. Judgment Day, Chupa Chups versus Finnbler. Chupa Chups is JD McDonough because he's skinny and he has a really big head, so he looks like a lollipop.
Chupa Chups.
Yeah, Chupa Chups. It's a brand of Mexican lollipops.
Chupa Chups. He's Irish.
No.
That made sense. Yeah.
I don't know Irish candy, okay?
I don't know. Just something bland. And
I could call him Dum. Ooh, I should be calling him Dum Dum. But the Chupa Chups, they have like the real big round head and like the normal handle. Like the Dum Dums have like a tiny head and the normal handle. So the Chupa Chups is more of an insult because it's got a bigger head on it.
How about Mr. Potato Face?
That seems racist. I mean, I know Irish people on the race, but
it's not racist.
All right.
There's over a fan and he can eat his own face.
Anyway, so it was those two versus the War Raiders.
I'm so racist against the Irish.
Yeah.
Super racist.
Eric actually picked up Ivar and slammed him onto Potato Face.
Mr. Potato Face.
While he was laying on the floor.
And stuck it up for...
Amazingly, his ribs did not re-break after that. Let's see. New Day was back on commentary. I feel like we've done this at least once already, but this time they got ejected from the match by Jessica Carr, the ref. In fact, it was the second match in a row where it was the War Raiders, because last week... No, this was Monday. The Raw before this, New Day was on commentary again, and it was the War Raiders versus American May, the Creed brothers. It was basically the same.
I feel at this point they need to put those belts on anybody but the New Day.
Yeah, it's getting old.
This experiment has failed utterly to make them heels. It doesn't even
great.
It started off great with the whole Biggie thing. It just popped and fizzled so quickly because they tried to sit there and defend themselves, and they did that for weeks until that became boring, and then they just embraced the whole heel thing, and that's boring. I think the problem is Biggie is nowhere in the equation, so you immediately took out.
Like if they had kept him in there somewhere to keep as like a point of friction,
managing another team, being on commentary,
managing another team. Yeah, or being on commentary would have been interesting too.
You have them. He's an object of their hostility, and then you took the object away,
and now they're just
sitting there bitching about nothing.
Smarmy, bitchy.
And they're the champions on top of that, and they're still bitching, and they're still.
Yeah. All right. Valkyria has a promo calling out Becky Lynch. Lyra chased her down. A tag team match, Jay and Sammy versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Seth Rollins interfered and forced a DQ. Okay, so this would have been fucked up. Breaker held Sammy down on the announce table, and Bronson Reed tried to almost jumped off the top rope onto him, which would have basically murdered Sami Zayn, I think, because Danger Tits is not to be...
Really Danger Tits is to be taken seriously.
Yeah, he is to be taken seriously. CM Punk ran in to break it up, or...
I thought Danger Tits was Tony Storm's...
That's Thunder Tits.
Yeah, that's on their tag team, but as I said, her Lucha Libre identity is Danger Tits.
Oh. No, I named him Danger Tits. It was 2 Saudi Arabia things ago, because I remember making a statement how the women had to be totally covered, but Bronson Reed is out there with bigger titties than all of them, and they're just sticking right out there, and I called him Danger Tits.
Yeah.
You cannot cover the Danger Tits.
Yeah.
So.
Because, man nipples.
Yeah. Where are we? Roxanne came out and caused a distraction this on Judgment Day. Wait a minute. Did I say that already? Did I miss that?
What did you say?
I don't know. I'm totally in the wrong. Okay. Kairi Sane versus Raquel Rodriguez. Sane won.
Yeah, it happened.
Okay. Io came out to fight Morgan for interfering.
It was fine.
And that was Raw. I took no notes on NXT, I'm just realizing.
But we can talk about Mariah May being in WWE.
Mariah May is in WWE.
Yes. And I'm sure, again, like I said earlier, a change is probably coming.
Yeah. AEW Collision. I did not take any notes. Oh, God. This isn't good. I don't have a lot of time during the week.
Yeah. No,
actually, that was on Saturday. Oh, wait. No. We didn't watch. That's what it was. We didn't watch Collision this week. Yeah. Because Dan was...
I was out of town.
And I could never seem to find it on Sling. And we haven't been able to find it. They don't have it posted anywhere. Like a rerun. Not a rerun.
Recap.
Yeah. The recording of it. They don't have a recording of it anywhere that is up as of now, as far as we know.
Might be on HBO Max.
Yeah, but we were looking and it wasn't.
No, we couldn't find the pay-per-views. We just couldn't find. I don't think we looked for Collision. At least I hadn't looked.
You did. You looked for Collision.
Oh, okay.
And you said you looked for it a couple of times and you said it wasn't there yet because we found other episodes from like the beginning of May.
Okay, maybe that's it.
We did watch Dynamite on Wednesday. It was 4 hours. Fighter Fest for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Dan fell asleep about an hour and a half in.
Yeah. I woke up at various points. So.
Okay. So you'll tell me where you know.
I watched the John Moxley.
Okay, yeah. Opening match, John Moxley versus Mark Briscoe. Moxley won because of ref stoppage. Briscoe was bleeding and beat up pretty bad. He hadn't quite healed up from having the shit kicked out of him on Saturday by the Death Riders. This was a good one. Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa tag team versus Julia Hart and Sky Blue. Monet.
Yeah.
It was a really good match.
I want to say that
Mina Shirakawa and Toni Storm stopped in the middle of it and tried to make out. So that was
the
fun.
real MVP of this match was that floor price thing.
Yeah. Well, at the end, Toni Storm made Sky Blue tap out from a hold, and Mercedes Moné was sitting at commentary again, eating a giant steak this big and drinking
wine.
Sauvignon. No.
They said they didn't know what it was.
No, somebody did because he could smell it. Merlot.
Or a Cabernet or Sauvignon.
Cabernet. Yeah. It was a cab mix.
Yeah.
The Tony Schiavone could smell it, and because apparently Tony Schiavone is
a wine connoisseur
or an alcoholic. We don't know.
Yeah.
So she was Mercedes Moné was not enjoying the steak. They would go back to her at certain points, and she was eating it. She made this face like,
yeah,
it looked pretty dry.
Yeah, to be fair, it wasn't her. She screams vegan.
He kind of does. So Toni Storm, Mina Shirakawa won. They had a very nice, friendly. They like each other. It's cute. Then Toni Storm ran out of the ring, down to Mercedes Moné, chased her out, grabbed her steak, and ripped off a giant chunk of it in her mouth, and then just sat there and finished her wine. It was great.
And she put that steak out of its misery.
She did. Yeah.
It was a miserable steak.
It was a sad steak. It was very gray inside.
I love steak, and it just seems like a steak that Trump would eat and say was the most delicious steak from his meat collection.
Yeah.
From Trump Steaks.
All right. Sign of the night. More gay wrestling. Yes.
Yep.
I like that.
Super gay wrestling.
All right, so MJF or Hurt Syndicate, the new and improved Hurt Syndicate. Well, new Hurt Syndicate, not necessarily improved. We're out doing a promo. MJF referenced The Last Dragon. He called Commander Speedball and Kevin Knight, I think. He referenced them all as characters from The Last Dragon.
Showing off and
he was showing off Bruce Leroy and I can't remember who the third one was, but it was like, damn, MVP knows The Last Dragon. That's a great movie. If you've never seen it, do yourself a favor and watch it.
It took me a while to get Sue to watch it, but once Sue watched it,
we couldn't find it anywhere. It was really hard to find. Yeah. That was the problem because I had wanted to watch it for years, but I could never find it. And then you were like, what, you have never seen The Last Dragon? That's crazy. Mm. And then it still took us a little while before we found it somewhere random, like Pluto or Tubi or something.
I was like, how have I not watched this?
Oh my God, it's like the best movie ever. Oh my God, I love it. Anyway, all right, so there's a trios match. El Faction Ingobernable, which is Rouge, the Beast Mortos, and who's the little guy? There's a little guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like a normal sized guy, but compared to Rouge and Beast Mortos, he's a little guy.
We'll be calling him smallest of the group.
Yes. Versus Commander Speedball and Kevin Knight, who won, although to be perfectly honest, they were a little outmatched power-wise. I mean, you have Roosh and Mortos, they are big, tough, powerhouse brawler guys. And then you have the little lucha guy, whose name I can't think of, who is like, he's their flippy flopper, he's their high flyer.
Flippy.
Yes, flippy flappy.
Flippy.
He's their high flyer. He's real quick. But, you have Speedball's quick, Commander's quick, Kevin Knight was the best they had for powerhouse. Like, if I was setting this up for like a Magic the Gathering game and I was playing Speedball, Commander, and Kevin Knight against those three, I would be like, oh, my deck is so unbalanced. I'm going to lose horribly. They won.
That's what Here's Magic Missile Pound. That was a great Dusty Rose.
Actually, it was a really good Dusty Rose.
I don't know anything about this game. I must rather play the Tiddlywinks.
That is a really good impression. Yeah. Well, don't make fun of Magic the Gathering. It's awesome. Anyway, all right. So MVP announced that he's going to allow them to face the Hurt Syndicate and send Shelton and Lashley into the ring to take them out. They didn't really. They just kind of ended there. Max Caster is doing his bullshit again. He has a petition now. He's trying to bully the members of the refs and the ring announcers into signing it, stating that he is officially the best wrestler ever. He did his chant, "The air must be thin up there." They're in Denver, because he actually got more than a few people chanting along with him. Denver, come on, what's the matter with you people? He's still doing his 5-minute open challenge, and Powerhouse Hobbs decided that he was going to come out and take advantage of that, and it took 49 seconds to squash him. So, getting a little tired of the Max Caster thing. It's like, it's fine, but dude, go somewhere with it. Go somewhere. Make him like actually accidentally beat someone huge. Make him accidentally beat Jon Moxley and take his title.
Yeah.
If even temporarily.
For like a couple of hours. Yeah,
exactly. All right.
I could do something like better in a couple of hours than Jon Moxley has in the last several months. Close to a year that he's held the title.
Yeah. All right. IC title 4-way. Brody King v. Claudio Castagnoli v. Mascara Dorado versus Kenny Omega.
International title or?
IC title. I have it down as IC title.
It's international.
Intercontinental title.
This is AEW, correct?
Yeah.
That's international title.
Oh. They don't have an IC title?
No.
Oh, okay. Oops.
Yeah. Either WWE or New Japan has an IC title.
Ah, okay. Anyway, Omega retained the belt. Kazuchika Okada appears wearing a suit made from an old couch. It was very weird. It didn't work for him.
It works for him, bitch.
It didn't work for him. Bitch. Beach. You have to say it like him. Beach.
How dare you call them a female dog? Give me a bionic elbow.
You ready? I'm going to do my Sapphire impression.
Where's Ric Flair? Sweet, sweet Sapphire. Woo! Nothing between. Sweet, sweet. Soulja Sapphire.
She never said anything. She just kind of danced and smiled. I don't know. I didn't remember seeing her solo run, but
I'm living my dream.
So she was Kira, is what you're saying.
No, not Kira. Kira's mean.
All right.
I heard she called a bear. So.
Sapphire did?
Yeah.
I mean, I know Matilda the Hun, Dee Boer, before she became Matilda the Hun in Glow. Dee Boer had to fight bears because she wasn't allowed to fight men, even though she was bigger than most
larger animals.
Yeah. So it actually wouldn't surprise me if Sapphire did too, because a lot of women had to do oddball fights when they were like the only woman on the card and they couldn't wrestle men. So it would not shock me if that were true.
Yeah.
But, all right. Ospreay versus Leo Rush from Crew in his ridiculous inflatable jacket. I don't know who these people are, except for these ridiculous jackets where they look like... Do you ever see Osmosis Jones? Yeah. They look like they should be like like an evil germ in that movie.
I feel like they should have been in like the 80s. I feel like the 80s Mario movie with John Leguizamo.
I can see that too.
Leo Rush. Monkey. I don't even remember the other guy's name and crew, but Leo Rush, the only reason I remember him is his run in WWE when they had 205 Live and they had a cruiserweight division. He was also Bobby Lashley's like mouthpiece, and he was a horrible mouthpiece.
That guy?
Leo Rush, yes.
But Bobby Lashley's so good at being his own mouthpiece. Why would they put this idiot in there?
Because he's not very good at being a mouthpiece. That's why they have
Bobby Lashley?
Yeah. That's why they.
Oh, you know what? I do take that back. He was pretty boring before he joined up with RKO or
MVP.
No, not MVP. Before he joined up with Matt Riddle and Randy Orton.
When was that?
That was right around when around.
Oh, okay. I guess we was hanging around with those guys. But.
Yeah, but you know what? Honestly, like I remember, I watched matches of his before that, and I watched interviews with him, and I was like, oh my god, this guy is like super intelligent, but so boring. And then I noticed that after he joined up with those guys, because they were kind of a bit of a comedy tag team. I can't even remember what they were called. It was
RK Bro.
RK Bro, that's it. After he's joined up with those guys, I noticed that he loosened up a good bit and that his promos got a lot better. But after that, yeah, okay, he did need a mouthpiece. Or before that, he didn't need a mouthpiece. That was boring. Yeah. Oh, God, that's terrible. Anyway, so Ospreay won that. They both got in the ring to keep hurting Ospreay, and basically Adam Page came out to stop him. That's right. All right. The other crew dude, whose name I don't remember because I don't care. They both got in there. They were beating up on Ospreay after the match, and Adam Page came to his rescue. Amazingly. After, I don't know. Templario and Atlantis Jr. versus FTR. FTR won. I don't know who most of these people are, nor do I care.
I know FTR.
Yeah, I kind of know them. I don't really care, but okay.
I was asleep for a good portion of it.
Yeah. Trios match. Konosuke Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, and those two are now in a tag team called the Protesta. Like the Protostar and Takeshita, the Protesta. I don't know. I can't fucking pronounce it. It's insane. Like, really. Like,
But the
Fletcher is right there.
A brand new team of Los Outrunners.
And Hechicero. Also, Hechicero is in now from somewhere. He seems cool. I don't know anything about him, but he's helping him out, and they fought Bandito and the Los Outrunners, who are from
Grande Americana.
Yeah, who are from they're from Mexico Beach, apparently.
Yes.
It's literally just the Outrunners with really bad lucha
What?
run.
No.
Yes.
Now you think you're telling me is Grande Americana was Chad Gable.
Honey, we have to have a talk.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, the Don Callis family won. I don't really
Donald
like.
Trump has an enormous penis.
How much money did you get to say that?
$200 from Elon, but that's before Elon saw. So
that bitch still owes me $100.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the Ring of Honor Championship: Sammy Guevara versus Lee Johnson versus AR Fox versus Nick Wayne, with Ricochet on commentary for some reason.
Yeah, I think they're building up Ricochet to probably take on the.
I think he wants to take on Nick Wayne. Yeah, I think that's what he was saying.
Title, they put some sort of gold on Ricochet
because Nick Wayne is. I don't know what's going on with him in the patriarchy. Christian is still being a dick to him.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be some sort of abusive family angle.
It is. Yeah, it's upsetting when you actually come from an abusive family and have an actual narcissist as a
He's doing it well. Like, it's good job.
He's doing it well. Anyway, Nick Wayne retains Ricochet in commentary. Tekla. Tekla is from...
The Klingon homeworld?
Kind of seems like it.
Hmm.
Where the hell did they say she was from? Some Eastern European country.
France.
Latvia? Belarus.
France.
Oh, fun fact about Belarus.
Belgium.
I'm doing my...
Canada.
Okay, no, I'm getting it up. Okay, funny story. I found out Thursday. What's today? Friday. I found out yesterday that the book, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, is actually banned by the country of Belarus for promoting ideas that would not be welcome in the country. Belarus banned an entire novel.
What ideas are those?
I don't know.
Alright.
Okay, so anyway, Tekla versus Lady Frost. Bit of a squash match for Tekla. She just got in, squashed Jamie Hayter after a match week before this past week. So that was a bit of a squash match. Like, look at me, I'm in the company. She's actually pretty good. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, a little bit.
She's pretty cool. Lady Frost is a pretty solid competitor. And, yeah, it was good. All right, main event. Don Callis family versus Daniel Garcia and Paragon, which is Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly.
Formerly known as Undisputed Kingdom versus...
Undisputed
formerly known as Undisputed Era.
I think it's Paragon now because Adam Cole is technically part of the group, right?
Yeah, well, I think they changed it probably because WWE gave him a hard time.
Oh, probably.
Undisputed was
Probably. Yep, and then Cal's family lost for the evening. I can't remember. I didn't write down who was in the actual match. I think it was Josh Alexander.
I just thought, though, if they're going to...
It was definitely Josh Alexander and two other people. I can't remember who, but...
Headgear Boy.
Headgear Boy. Apparently, his ear literally fell off.
Yeah,
you heard that?
Yes.
When they were talking on commentary? Like, I thought it was just like cauliflower. No, part of his fucking ear fell off. Poor dude. Oh my God. So yeah, I mean, like,
at least it wasn't leprosy, so
it could be worse. It's true. Anyway, Daniel Garcia Paragon won that. All right.
To backtrack earlier, if Paragon had to change their name because of WWE's, will that be the same for the Hart Syndicate? Will they have to change it to like the Minor Contusion Consortium? I mean, you free just give me
laceration.
I don't want any money. Just give me credit. That's all.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Give me some tickets to an AEW match.
Okay.
The Minor Contusion Consortium.
I think that's totally fair.
Yeah, you can have that one. It's on me.
The Ouchie Brothers.
Yeah. Ouchie Incorporated.
Ouchie Incorporated.
Ouchie Incorporated.
All right. It's all right.
Laceration Limited.
Oh, I was trying to think of something with L. That's a good one. Yeah. All right. I want to eat dinner.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go eat dinner.
The hell out of this.
Yeah. Oh, it is so warm in here. Oh my God. We're gonna go next door and turn on the AC.
And not be hot. I mean, we'll still be hot because look at us.
We'll still be hot.
We're amazing. Look at us.
We'll be hot. We just won't be hot.
Top of that American dream. On this big sweaty man cave. Look there, where you at?
Woo!